Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Nice. Welcome in, everyone, to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast with Jake, Josh, and Kevin. I maybe got your name wrong over there, Slim Shady. The jingle over there.
Yes.
For all those watching on YouTube today, Josh showed up in the Banger Management hoodie, wearing the hood.
That was an anticlimactic reveal, Josh. I was expecting like a haircut or
the
something.
Whole time.
Yeah. Like some Scooby-Doo shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's like Clark Kent. I
wasn't
put on
for
the
those
hood.
kids.
It's a completely different person.
Oh, man. Okay, today, our Week 18.5, meaning the second half of Week 18, because of this huge $$sign Olympic week. It's the waivers episode. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Subscribe on YouTube and give this video a like if you enjoyed
Please.
Josh's big reveal to be the same way that he always is.
If you like the reveal, I'll do one next week.
It builds suspense. If there's always something different at every reveal, then everyone knows what to expect. But if it's just the same, then sometimes, you got to shake things up. Expect the unexpected.
It's true.
That's my motto with the woos. You know how it is.
Yeah, literally. And also, all the socials are in the podcast description. Do we have any thoughts on who's going to win the gold medal game tomorrow?
Canada. Yeah, we're recording this literally the day before the gold medal
Yes.
game, right? So
Look,
Yeah,
I'm obviously rooting for Canada, but I've not been impressed with them. The two games, like it's crazy because the prelim games they were killing it, and then like everything on the line, and they just like play like garbage. Like I don't even think they deserve to win the Czechia game. Like I think that they got lucky.
yeah.
It was one. I mean, that's what 3-on-3 overtime is, right? It takes one individual, crazy play. But they could have easily lost that one. They could have easily lost against Finland, right? Down 2-0.
Yeah.
I think they got lucky that I think it was a good call, but like they get lucky to get a power play with like 2 minutes left in the game. So,
I mean, if it would have went to overtime, and I feel like we would have had the advantage in overtime.
yeah,
too.
for sure. But I mean, like going down 2-0, like, and just, I don't know. I have not been impressed. Meanwhile, U.S. just steamrolled Slovakia, which is like expected, but like they're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Canada should have been, steamrolling their opponents. All that to say, like I'm obviously still rooting for Canada, but like I don't know. They have to figure something out. They have to. They can't. If they fall 2-0 down to the U.S., I don't think it's going to be the same story as with Finland. I don't think you're coming back from that versus this team.
Yeah, Finland parked the bus too. Like they were basically like for 35 minutes just in their zone being like, all right, please don't score.
That's it. They were turtling hard.
Canada barely beat Finland, who got smoked by Slovakia, who just got destroyed by the United States.
Yeah.
Obviously, different stage of the tournament, things are a bit different, but by that logic, like I thought, yeah, that's true. And if he comes back for the gold medal
Crosby, no
game,
Morrissey.
Even if Crosby comes back, he's not going to be healthy. Like he's not going to be as effective as he.
But he was our third line center, right? That's like third line matchups for him. I feel like Crosby in any third line matchup, no matter his health status, is not the worst.
He's a great,
great third line center.
First. He's a great line 3C moving forward rest of the season for fantasy.
But
Sell.
I look at our D core and I'm just kind of like, we have Makar who can have like some offensive spark there. We got Sanheim, we got Parayko, we got Thomas Harley, we got Devon Taves. Like all of these guys are like defensive defensemen. Meanwhile, we have like Evan Bouchard at home. Like, I feel like we could have used a Bouch bomb at some point in this tournament, right?
Yeah.
It feels like they can't produce any
Chychrun,
offense. Like I know that we won 4-3 versus Czechia, we won 3-2 versus Finland, but watching those games, like it really felt like we just could not produce any offense. And it felt like what I was seeing was that they were just jamming up the middle of the zone, like the middle of the ice, and that's when you need one of these defensemen, these puck moving defensemen, to kind of get it through the zone. And you just have Makar playing like 40 minutes a night. Like
it's nuts.
Look, I think that U.S. is favored going in, especially with the Crosby and Morrissey injuries. We'll see. I mean, Tage missed part of the game, but they said he's good to go for the game for the gold. So, and he's been sick this tournament. So,
How do you feel about Binnington?
I feel like he's been fine. I feel like he hasn't done anything spectacular. Like, sure, he didn't let in goals when we needed him not to let in goals, but like, I don't know. I don't think he's been spectacular or anything like that. I think that, I mean, at this point, obviously you're going Binnington. You're not going to switch goalies for the gold medal game, but I would have rather go Thompson the whole way.
Yeah, same.
I think
he's come in clutch. Like he's had some big saves in OT. Like he's had some moments, but I just feel like also some of the goals I just feel like are are not like he could have had those, but I feel like he could have. I don't know. Some of them I'm like he could have played better there or whatever. But then he makes up for it after. You're like, oh my god, look at the crazy save he just saved us. But like we were in the hole because I feel like he could have played better earlier on.
Well, it's also like it's like the goals are like it's like you said, they're not like bad ones that like, you know, he should have had that or whatever. But when the other team is only getting like 17 shots on goal the entire game, you know, you could use that one clutch save that like, you know, on a one that should have been a goal, but you like stop it, right? Like
the shorty that the Finland score,
like that shouldn't go in. No. And I mean, it was a great like play by Halle, you know, and like it's not on Binnington that they got a breakaway, right? So it's not like his fault, but you know, could have used some clutch there.
Yeah, it's tough as a goalie to not get a lot of shots, and then you get one, like, you know, sporadically, and then you have
it's
to
all high
focus.
danger ones.
Yeah, it's
that's
it's
it. I'm not trying to like hate.
So overall, you think Canada or United States?
Canada. We got the clutch factor. I think we have the clutch factor.
I'm going Canada because, you know, I want it to happen, and I'm gonna believe, but I don't know. I'm not feeling great. Like before, after prelims, I was like, nothing can stop us. You know, after these last two games, I'm like, I feel like anything can stop us.
I think they can't stop anything.
I'm going to go Canada as well, but I definitely want to hear all of the listeners' thoughts in the Discord. You know, during the games, the in-game discussion, there's been a lot of fun conversations going on over there. A lot of emotion.
If you guys are, in the Discord, I was going to, Josh, you always say the worst things when the receipts are like right above. But if you've been in the Discord, it's been super fun to like talking to everybody in the live game channel throughout these Olympics. It's been really fun. So if you're not already in there, this might come out like right before the gold medal game, right? Like we usually
gold medal game's at 8 a.m.
But our episodes usually go out 7 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, true.
So if you're listening to this at 7 a.m. Eastern on Sunday,
there's still time to join the Discord.
You have an hour.
Yeah,
and you know it's great. It's great the you know the fans get to see what we're really like in pressure situations.
And I just want to put it out there. Jordan Binnington is currently the most added player on our League of Record waiver wire. So it would have been Dvorsky, but somebody sniped him earlier this week.
It's me. I'm someone. And I dropped him for Zetterlund. I don't want to talk about it. I dropped Zetterlund for him, rather.
The Zetterlund era is over. He finally dropped him.
It's the Zetterlund. And
kind of that works.
Whatever. Let's move on.
All right. Any perfaces before we dive in to the waivers episode?
Juvis Belinskis is a beast. That's all I need to say.
Okay, that's perface enough. Okay, right. So Josh, let's
dive in. So this is only half a week. So every team either plays 2 or 3 times. So the 2-game teams are Boston, Carolina, Columbus, Dallas, Detroit, Montreal, Nashville, Rangers, Ottawa, Vancouver. The 3-game teams are everyone else. Not going to name every team in the NHL. The busy nights are Thursday and Saturday. And then the teams with 2 off-night games, we've got Anaheim, Buffalo, Florida, Minnesota, Utah, Vegas, Washington, and Winnipeg. Quick note on Winnipeg. Josh Morrissey, injured in the Olympics. He played 1 shift the entire Olympics, it feels like, and then just missed the entire... Did he get injured at 4 Nations also, or am I making that up?
He did.
Yeah, right?
He missed the gold medal game.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe take Evan Bouchard next time. But
that's pretty cutthroat, Josh. But
sorry. I mean, you know, I could contribute as much as Morrissey has to this run.
Probably a little more. Actually, maybe a little less if you're on the ice and getting goals against. So
we've seen that the coaches are not afraid to let a guy sit on the bench the entire game. So you know, I'd bring up morale just on the bench. But
let's go, everybody!
And you get like a penalty for like jumping on the ice after a goal and celebrating, and they'd be like, "You're not allowed to get off the bench," and I'd be like, "Oh no!"
But
they can't tell me.
Morrissey.
Yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say that's my way of getting ice time. Is I get a penalty, and then when I get out of the penalty box, I just don't get back to the bench. I'm like, I'm on the ice. You can't do anything about it.
Pull a Kovalev, but like not score a goal.
Just get absolutely
this has never happened before, but you just stay in the penalty box. You like signal to like the bench, like someone else go on. And then
we don't want him on the ice for a single second.
That's it. Oh man.
Yeah, but Morrissey. So we don't know yet the extent. I feel like he was day to day for the entire tournament, right? It kept being like he might come back for this game. No, might come back for this game. No. So it seems like it's probably not too long term. but do we have an idea of like who would replace him? Like I would say Neil Pionk would be my instinct, but Pionk's
Yeah.
also been injured, so but I think he should be back.
I mean, so my take, and I want to put this out there because somebody in the Discord asked me, like, how do you feel about, Morrissey for Adam Fox? And I was just like, I really like acquiring Adam Fox, but you got to know that, like, Rangers are the worst team in the league. He's a candidate to be shut down because he's been injured the whole time. Because he asked me, like, well, Winnipeg also sucks, so why wouldn't Morrissey get shut down? And I was just like, well, Morrissey hasn't been hurt like Fox the whole season. But then this, like, injury at the Olympics, it's like day to day. I was just like, okay, they're being preventative. They're going to keep him for the important games. But then he ended up not playing any of the important games, and he's not going to play in the gold medal game, to my knowledge. So and I feel like the Olympics is kind of like its own vacuum where if injuries will be pushed through to play because it's such a monumental game where like we'll touch on Crosby later, but like, he might play the gold medal game with like a bionic brace or something and then just like not playing the regular season for maybe a week or two because they're like, okay, this is actually like, we're not playing for gold medal in week 19 of the fantasy season. So I'm a little worried with Morrissey. I feel like it's one of those things that it might be worse than we think, but they're just like keeping him day to day because like, he wants a chance to play in the gold medal game. But I'm not.
Yeah.
If there was a
As far as
replacement, I'm not
replacements-
valuable. I don't think he's valuable.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who's replacing him is valuable unless it's Pionk for somewhat of an extended period of time. Because Pionk can actually be decent in his own right, and then other than that, they have no real standout offensive defensemen that have been able to sustain any offense for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Pionk would be the most interesting because he also bangs, right? So like, even though he hasn't been doing that
Yeah,
great
he
this year
does.
with all the injuries, but yeah, exactly. So I would definitely pick up Pionk if Morrissey's out. And Pionk is the power play one guy. I think there's a lot of value in a guy, even if he is just 0.5 points per game, but also like banging and getting some power play points. I think that's really valuable off the waiver wire. For random guys, look, I wouldn't mind taking a shot. This is all obviously hinging on the assumption Morrissey's out, but like last year they were the first power play in the league. I know this year they're a lot worse, but like you have Connor, Scheifele, Velarde. Like I think that sometimes all it takes is a Darren Radish to come in and rejuvenate the whole power play. So like,
Yeah.
look, the guy's given the opportunity. I don't mind taking a shot on it. I don't know who it's going to be if it's not Pionk, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's impossible for them to be valuable. But also, it's not like if you miss out on it, I don't think it's another Radish. So,
And I do
that's
think
fair.
Winnipeg is still going to try to make the playoffs so that you
Yeah.
at least have that like incentive to like not just like punt the season away and give up,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's
All right, let's
get
dive
into the
in.
top 10 points.
Yeah. As usual, under 40% owned. Kevin, why don't you get us started off with?
Number 10.
Nice. At number 10, we have Anthony Mantha of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Line 2, possibly power play 1. It'll depend on if Crosby's out. So
That's
we
a
mentioned
whole
that we were going to
Pick too.
yeah, we were going to bring that up. So yeah, Crosby got injured in he got injured in the bronze medal game versus Czechia, got Radko Gudist.
Of course it's Gudis, man.
yeah,
It's always Gudis. Like, the guy can't just take a chill pill for a second.
I mean, no, that game he was a beast. Like, honestly,
I
like
know,
he
he
was
actually
very
was.
noticeable on the ice. Like, he was just like crashing bodies and just like making great plays.
But
It was,
Crosby,
I know, it sucks. And they felt like Crosby was being like targeted. Like they showed like the play where he got injured, and it was like 4 different plays where he was just getting
Yeah.
like
he
banged
got
like
sandwiched.
nonstop. Yeah, exactly. So Crosby gets injured, then they don't rule him out until like the last minute for the silver medal game. Now they still haven't ruled him out for the gold medal game, but I think it's kind of like what Kevin was mentioning with the vacuum, and then like he might play through like a lot worse to play in this gold medal game, which is obviously such a high stakes like important game, and then come back for the regular season and be like, okay, I need 2 weeks to get ready for playoffs. With like because they're pretty comfortable in a playoff spot, so they don't need him to come back to rush back. So I think there's like. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he's probably going to be out 1 to 2 weeks after coming back from the Olympics.
Yeah, that seems fair. I don't think that they're going to shut him out for any longer than they have to, because even though they are in a decently comfortable position, I mean, 2-3 games and Washington could be replacing them at second place in the Metropolitan, right? So they need their players to play. The East in general is super close. I do like Mantha here, and I think he'd have a leg up on like someone like a Chinikov, for example, who I still like, by the way. And if you're in like a deeper league and Mantha's not available, I have Chinikov on my team, for instance. So I'm a believer. But but yeah, so right now, will Mantha be the replacement? Probably. That's the most likely. And if he is, then it's definitely a good pickup.
Yeah, and even if you look at his game log before the Olympics, he was just on fire. So
He was
even without power play 1, he seems to be able to like produce. He's got 3 games. He also got 4 games the week after, so it's like a good 2-week stream. Yeah,
Great
and
playoff schedule too.
that
Also,
they're
I know
fourth power play rank in the league, right? So if he's on that power play, it's a huge boost for him.
The
I
power
like
play gets worse
Pittsburgh
without
is one of
Crosby,
the
though.
teams to own on week 21 to 23 in general. Like
For sure.
those the lower key guys, Mantha, Chinikov. Like even in a deep enough league, you could do worse.
One of my main questions, though, is that we have Mantha number 10. I think if Crosby's confirmed, because we don't know right now, like he might play the gold medal game, then maybe he's just like playing regular season, no injury scare. If he does miss time and like they come out Crosby missing 2 weeks, I would put Mantha higher on this list in my opinion, because I think that spot when he's on power play 1, Mantha has actually delivered pretty well.
Yeah.
Are you interested in any Pittsburgh center that would be bumped up into the top 6 because of the Crosby injury?
Maybe
I'm thinking
Ben
about like
Kindle.
the Ben Kindle or Kevin Hayes. I think his name is back out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, with Mantha, to your point, I think it's 2 ifs. One is if Crosby's out, and the 2 is if he's the guy who takes power play 1. Like he should be, but like if Chinikov got it, it's not like we'd be shocked, right? Like it's I still think it's Mantha, but it's not a guarantee. So, but yes, with those 2 ifs, if that happens, he would be higher up on the list than 10th. And then in terms of centers that would slot into top 6, I think Ben Kindle's the main one I'd be looking at. Not really interested in Kevin Hayes.
Kindle already on PP1 as we speak. So like it's him, Russ, Malkin, Carlson, Crosby. Now you have to take into account Raquel coming back too. So Raquel probably bunts Kindle, and then
if Crosby's out,
Crosby's
then someone
out.
Gets a spot.
Do they put Kindle back in, or do they put Mantha? We'll have to check. Kindle has shown flashes earlier this season that if he has good deployment, he's a category stuffer. Like he's actually pretty good for categories.
A lot, wins face-offs.
I would keep an eye on him, watch list him. If Crosby's out and you see a practice report, like be in the Discord, if you see a practice report with Kindle playing in the top 6 or on power play 1, I'm sniping him, I'm picking him up.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much between Kindle and Mantha, it's whichever one gets power play 1 is the one I'm more interested in.
Same. Okay, let's go to number 9. Sorry.
Wow.
No! Oh my god.
I'm not
That's
editing
crazy.
that out. All right, at number 9.
Thank you. At number 9, we have the captain of Team Finland, Mikael Granlund. Line 2, power play 1, question mark. I'm still not sure. I've been following the lines, but like it's kind of messy following the lines after Olympics, or at least this point, because all the Olympics players haven't returned. There's also some injured guys who are returning, like Leo Carlsson. We don't know how everyone's going to slot in together. So he was power play 1 before the Olympics, but Carlsson was injured. So I'm not sure where he's going to end up. That's why he's lower on the list. But 3 games this week, 4 games the week after. So schedule-wise is great. He's got that like triple eligibility. And he's shown he can, he's not the most consistent, but he can randomly get a hat trick for you, and that lineup they don't really load the top line. I find he's trying to like spread the wealth among the top 3 lines. So, and Granlund's going to be somewhere in there. So it's just the deployment's a big question mark, but I like Granlund.
Every team that he's on, people love him, like the actual NHL team. So like I was surprised that he was a captain for Team Finland. Like they got like, Sebastian Aho, they got Heiskanen, they got Rantanen, like Rupe. Like I just feel like they have some big names that maybe you would think more leadership aspect to them, but Granlund is the guy, and I think we see it for Anaheim too. Like he's like the fill-in stopgap for a lot of these injured guys, and then he kind of ends up keeping better deployment even when the other guys come back. So I think Granlund is sneaky value for the rest of the season. I think he can have a big part to play in this Anaheim team, and we did expect them to be better than they were throughout the middle part of the season, where they were like atrocious after like the excellent start they had. So I think Granlund with this deployment, I'm very interested.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've been trying really hard to buy some Anaheim players. I think they've got a solid schedule rest of the season, and I think that
you like Jakey.
Yeah, no, honestly, and I think that they've been so underperforming, and I think the break is going to be great for all those young players. A lot of guys getting healthy, so I've been sending out offers for like Carlson, Terry. I
have Alex Killorn with your name on him, Josh.
I will pass. But yeah, so I'm very into the Ducks rest of the season. I think Granlund could have good value. Obviously, it'll depend on how the lines shake out. But yeah,
especially with faceoffs. He has a lot of value there. That's pretty much all I wanted to add on that. And if depending on how the lines shake out, he could have a great finish, and also his minutes have been fantastic. Nice.
I will say I arguably would like him more than this next guy potentially, but let's go to number 8.
Yeah, at number 8, this is a big potential one. So it could be a
Yeah.
nothing, but it can be like the potential's there. It's Frank Nazar of the Chicago Blackhawks, line 2, power play 1, 3 games this week, and then 3 games the week after. My thing with Nazar is like, I think actually kind of like the theme of this list is a lot of guys who, these young guys who showed flashes at points in this season, and I'm kind of thinking that this break, getting their teams getting healthy or them getting healthy and just resetting, I think they can have strong finishes. So that's why I put Nazar above like Granlund or Mantha, even though
Mm-hmm.
he didn't necessarily do better than them like this season. I just think that a healthy Connor Bedard is going to make a big difference. And if you look at his game log, like Nazar before the Olympics, like he was shooting a lot. Like he was averaging like almost like 3 shots a game. And I kind of just I like we saw what he could do at the start of the season, and this is that like kind of like time of year, especially with the Olympic break and everyone resting up, where these young guys, especially on like teams that are not nowhere near playoffs, they're just given free reign to kind of just mess around and be productive. So that's why you'll notice the theme with this list is a lot of those. So that's why Nazar's there.
The strong finish is also something that like a lot of young players generally just have. Like
Yeah.
Slavkovsky last year was an example. Holloway too. This happens, and considering, I mean, I know Bertuzzi's had a pretty decent year overall, even though it's come in waves. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. With Bedard, hopefully healthy rest of the season, I think that Nazar would be the second best player to own on this team. So I like it.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like a potential play, but Granlund maybe gives you a stronger foundation of like long-term value. So it just depends the kind of player you want on your team. Like if you're in a really good spot, you have a chance to take more of the potential swing. So I like
also
it.
think that Nazar has like a better chance at power play 1 than Granlund does.
When all healthy.
Yeah, when all healthy.
I
feel
so
like I don't know why. I feel like they just love Granlund for like the face-offs and stuff. Like
I
we've
mean,
seen it
I wouldn't be
before,
surprised
but
if they're both power play 1, but I mean, if one of them gets bumped, I think it's more likely to be Granlund. But also, I don't think either of them is a staple. So that's why they're number at 9 and 8, right? So
yeah.
yeah,
And Anaheim power play units are always kind of like quote unquote split or whatever. Like
yeah, it's a mess.
All right, let's go to number 7.
At number 7, we have Matty Beniers of the Seattle Kraken. 3 games this week, 3 games the week after. And this is one that's like both one of those like potential plays with a young guy, but also he was just doing well this year. So especially leading up to the Olympics, he was playing really well. So I like Beniers a lot. Honorable mention to Eberle, but I'd much rather Beniers. And yeah, I think Seattle, they're third in their division somehow. I mean, we know it's a weak division, but everyone kind of expected LA to be where Seattle is right now. I don't think Seattle holds on to it, honestly, but
Never know.
But look, the division is bad enough that it's wide open to be taken. So I like, line 1 power play 1. There's not many line 1 power play 1 centers available to just pick up off waivers.
Guys, this is the number 1 C on a playoff team who plays over 19 minutes a night on a fringe top 10 power play. Like, there's a lot of like these side metrics that are just very encouraging for what Beniers can do rest of the season. And don't forget, like, I mean, first of all, he's playing with the best players on this team. Like, he's playing with McCann, he's playing with Eberle. Like, those are 2 wingers. On Seattle, you can't ask for much better than that. But where Josh just said they maybe bounced out of a playoff spot, this team is trying to buy. Like, they were in the Panarin sweepstakes. Like, they offered him big time money. He just preferred to go to LA. So there's another world where maybe they're trading for some of these other guys. Like, what if Jason Robertson's not extending in Dallas and he's on the move? I don't know.
That'd be
Putting
nuts.
that out there, that'd be crazy,
Yeah.
right? I feel like they really want a high-powered offensive player. Like, they need a superstar to pair with their potential superstar 1C.
Patrick Laine.
I would love that for the Habs to get him off our team, but
I saw rumors that he's almost like pretty much a done deal in LA King.
really,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about Fiala after, but I mean, they're
Yeah.
looking for somebody to fill in that gap.
Yeah.
But Beniers, I think, is one of my favorite like young guys that ends the year super strong, and then next year we're looking at him as with a more positive eye on like what he can do for fantasy.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point you made on the like they were like if Panarin didn't have a no move clause, he would have been a Seattle Kraken because they gave by far the best offer, not just to the Rangers, but they offered Panarin way more money and term than what he got with LA. He just didn't want to go to Seattle, which like I mean, to me, I feel like it's all West Coast. Like, what's the difference? But whatever.
LA has a better chance to win, I guess, in concept.
I guess, yeah. I feel like he just wanted to go to LA for the vibes, but yeah. Anyways, so I think that's a great indication, like you said, like they're in the market for a big name. if a big name pops up, they're gonna make a swing, and I think that's what they need. Like that's for like so long. So yeah, no, I'm pretty hyped on Beniers. I think that's a great pickup.
Yep.
All right, let's go to number 6.
All right, at number 6, we have Gabe Landeskog of the Colorado Avalanche, the captain of Team Sweden. Line 2, power play 1, both of those I have asterisks next to because I'm not sure how these lines shake out post-Olympics. But if he's on power play 1, obviously way more interesting. But even without it, he's been a solid kind of like bangers guy. Like he'll get some shots, hits, and face-off wins from a winger position. And just being in that top 6 on Colorado, it's one of the few places where even without power play time, you could still get some decent production. But obviously that power play is the place to be if you can. And also he wasn't healthy before the Olympics, right? So people kind of like speculatively added him, or he's still available and you can grab him now. And he was on a pretty strong run before he got injured. So it'll be interested to see what he can do when he comes back.
Yeah, they've had a surprisingly bad power play all year. It's pretty nuts that they're 32nd.
I was gonna say, is Josh, is that accurate? Are they actually 32nd out of 32 teams?
I updated these numbers during the Olympic break, so nothing's changed.
That's the worst power play in the league. The Colorado Avalanche with Cale Makar and Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah.
The best team in the league has the worst power play in the league.
Imagine if they start figuring that out.
Yeah, wow. Like obviously they've gone on a bit of a cold stretch over their last 10 games, but I'm still shocked that they're this low. That being said, I mean clearly if they have to start winning games. Like for a while it felt like they were coasting and they were completely untouchable, and right now they're 5 points.
I just fact checked myself, by the way. I just went on the NHL website and fact checked myself. They are indeed the worst power play in the entire league this year.
Crazy.
Nuts.
That's crazy. But anyway, I mean, you do want him to be there because at least more deployment, right? And it's really nice to see that he's had a good Olympic Games, 4 points in the 5 games that he played. And hopefully, look, with him, it's always just whether or not he can stay healthy. If he can, I definitely like him for a stream and potentially rest of the season hold in a deep enough league.
If they play him with McKinnon consistently and he slots on that power play 1, like we know it's the worst power play in the league, but like you still want to be exposed there, like the potential opportunities there. Like he could be like, I don't want to say a league winner, but like in our league of records, somebody picked him up for free a couple weeks ago after he got dropped, right? As an IR stash. I was very interested, but I was like, I'll have to wait and see. I have to use my ads more wisely in my current matchup. I may regret not picking up Landeskog, like left wing, right wing, getting faceoffs, playing those minutes with that deployment. And he was on fire for a little stretch. So I think he has some juice, but it's all about the deployment. Like if he's line 2, I'll be disappointed, but like he can still produce. But I feel like he's a top 6, power play 1.5 type of guy. Like he's either like the last man out or the first man in. So
high potential. And as we mentioned in the playoff primers, Avalanche have a great playoff schedule. So
that too.
That's definitely something to keep in mind. Let's go to the top half of this list.
All right, breaking into the top 5. We got number 5.
At number 5, we've got my boy Josh Doan of the Buffalo Sabres. Line 3, power play 1, but I'm putting line 3 with an asterisk because another name worth mentioning, Josh Norris, should be back after the Olympic break. Where have we heard this one before?
Guys, I'm monitoring the practice.
It's Connor McDavid.
He's practicing not in a no-contact jersey. Like he was in a no-contact, then he shed the no-contact.
Yes, contact.
So he's in a contact jersey as we speak.
There's like 2 X's. Like it has like contact with like a red line and a square line
Guys,
through it, and then another red circle.
He's not practicing not in a no-contact jersey.
He's not contact. We can't make it any clearer than that.
For all you Office fans out there.
Yeah.
But
by the way, Kevin, I'm doing you a favor. I purposely didn't put him on the list because I didn't want to curse him. So
thank you.
Every time
really
we put him on our
that.
list, he's gotten injured. So I'm like, you know what?
No, it was every time we put him in the top 3.
That's true. But I put him in the same, I put him as a talk about as well here with Josh Doan, and as another talk about as well before we can talk about all of them and together is Jason Zucker as well. I feel like we always, these are all grouped together, like in my opinion, just kind of, again, I said that my theme for this list this week was those young potential guys who to go on a run rest of season. So out of the 3 that I just listed, I think Josh Doan has the highest, chance to go on one of those young end of season runs. But I wouldn't fault you for picking either of these other guys over him.
And I will say though, like this Buffalo team, like they may finish the season very strong, right? Like they are a team that was on fire leading up to the Olympic break. Now maybe they lose all their momentum because of the break, but I think it's very important to how to conceptualize this Buffalo Sabres team because Josh Norris is coming back. Big, help for their middle six, I think. Like he's gonna play. I mean, he's not the same guy that he was before, but he's gonna play important minutes. He's gonna be on the power play one, which you want exposure to. So, he's not on this list, but I would keep an eye on him. Zach Benson is the only guy that's like has not been back from injury, and he was the guy that was taking Josh Doan's spot on line one. So if Benson is not there, for me, it's a no-brainer. Josh Doan. It's gonna be Josh Doan, Tage Thompson, Alex Tuch as that line one, and that's where he's thrived before. Like we may be able to see like Josh Doan really come out of this break on fire. So I would strongly be considering him, especially that you're able to get 3 games out of him this week and then 4 games the next week after that. He might be a phenomenal pickup. I'm really interested, and then put Josh Norris on that power play, and you got fireworks.
Yeah, boat goes up.
Boat goes up, baby.
So we haven't mentioned Jack Quinn.
I think all the guys coming back kind of hampers his
because he's been their best player pretty
really
much like for the last 10 games they've had. He's gotten like a ridiculous, like he had 1 game without points over their last 8, and he had 1 like 3-point game. So it's mainly assists. So I guess that's kind of bodes well for his sustainability. He's shooting well too, but I do also see where you're coming from, that it may bump him off.
I actually think that like when you mentioned that it's mainly assists, that makes me think that it's really dependent on his deployment, right? Like obviously like better players who can finish his plays. So I feel like if he does get bumped down because of, Doan, Norris, like coming back, like whatever, everyone being healthy, I think that could, hurt him. Also, he won't be power play 1 with the Norris coming back, which I think hurts. But I think his name is definitely worth mentioning because out of all these guys, he's the one who's been, like if you look at last month averages, he's the one who's got the best. So I think that's a really good call out. How do you guys rank the 4 that we've mentioned? Because all of them are available in most leagues.
To me, Doan, Norris, Zucker, Quinn.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the only thing I'll add to that is that Zucker does have the highest floor. Like if you're in a position that you need like steady dividends, Zucker.
I mean, when Norris was healthy, he was pretty steady. Like he was he's still at 0.9 points per game on the season. Like he's just playing only 5 games, but
his floor is not playing.
Yeah, his floor is not playing. But at that point, I'll just like stream. You know what I mean? But I
mean,
I do like him
in
terms of floor plus ceiling.
Yeah, in terms of the Zucker versus Doan, though, that's exactly how I picture it as well. I think Zucker's like, if you just want that consistent, like, he's not going to blow up and have one of those, like, end-of-season runs, Doan has that potential, but Doan could also put up straight zeros, whereas Zucker, I think, is more likely to game in and game out, contribute to your team. So it's really, like I think Doan's more of a, like, not like a lottery ticket, but, like, I feel like,
more potential.
He can blow up, which is why I would go for him over Zucker at this point in the season. I feel like you got to lean towards the guy who can blow up. But if you're like, in a really tight matchup and you're like, I just need the more consistent stats, then I could see going for Zucker.
Yeah, he got the bag and then kind of just decided to start camping. And
no, he didn't. He got the bag and then they put him line 3.
Yeah, so. Which is crazy. That's like crazy work. Like such mixed signals from the management. Like, we really like you. Here's a ton of money. Now go play line 3.
Well, Crosby's line 3, so you could do worse.
You know what? Line 3 is the new line 1. You heard it here first. All right, let's go to the next one. I think this is another interesting team with a lot of names to talk about.
Can't wait to talk about him. But let's go to number 4.
At number 4, we have my boy, Dylan Holloway of the St. Louis Blues. I put line 2 power play 1 with an asterisk because I don't know how those lines are going to shake out. They have so many guys coming back from injury, I feel like. Or at least maybe not so many guys, but off the top of my head, just him and Thomas coming back is just completely shakes up the foundation of the lines, right? And then before we talk about Holloway specifically, let's also mention Jimmy Snuggerud, Dalibor Dvorsky. I'll even throw in Jake Neighbors. Like, there's a lot of low rostered, interesting names on this team. And I put Holloway because I think he has the highest potential of any of these guys. I think we saw it last year where he was pretty much point per game with being over a double-double. And I think that,
for
the
bangers
break,
leagues too, like it's
that's
just
it. Like Bangers
crazy.
League specifically, I think he has the highest upside. And yeah, he's coming back healthy. He had like ample time to like get back into it. He in an interview was like, "Yes, I'm coming back. I'll be back at the next game. Like I'm feeling good." He's been practicing line one, but obviously, like I said, the lines are mixed up with like the injuries and the Olympics guys not being there. But yeah, I'm really hyped on Holloway. I got him on my teams. Took him from Jakey for Zetterlund. So
Zetterlund who's on waivers, by the way.
Yeah, but I have Dvorsky now, so I'm happy.
Yeah, so I'm curious what you guys think about this whole St. Louis situation. Like, do you think they can go on some sort of run? Like, I know they're not going to make the playoffs. That's not what I'm saying. But do you think they can be not garbage for like the rest of the season?
I don't think they're going on a run, and I think they're selling pieces. I think we could see Kyrou get moved. I think we can see Buchnevich get moved.
Yeah.
Like, there's going to be a lot of guys here that, So, I'm not super hype on them, but I feel like they could be one of those teams that even though they're not making the playoffs, they still have some fantasy relevant assets that are more banger oriented. Like, I have Dvorsky in a 20-man league. I'm really happy with him. I've had him for like 3 months at this point. Like, he got called up and I picked him up right away because like in that league, nobody's available on waivers, all 0% guys. And he was getting power play 1 exposure even while the team was healthy.
Yeah.
So I think he has a lot of potential. So kudos to Jakey for picking him up during this Olympic break. I'm pretty happy, really jealous that he was able to slot him in there. But Holloway could have the best banger potential, and I think that's, if you're in a banger league, that's kind of where I would lean. And I just don't see it for this team this year. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Benetting sucks.
But you know what? I honestly, I think that either way, if they do go on a run or if they sell pieces, the core guys on this team can still have a very strong finish.
Yeah.
So it's almost like for their fantasy production specifically, I mean, if you're a Blues fan, it kind of sucks, but Snuggerud, Dvorsky, and Holloway can all have really decent finishes. Neighbors as well.
Snuggerud was one of the hottest players going into the Olympic break. Like over the last 2 weeks, like he was really hot.
I actually think the Olympic break
somebody in the
sucks for
Discord
him.
said they kind of potentially would rather Snuggerud over Mark Stone, and I had to defend my boy. I'm the Mark Stone biggest Mark Stone lover right now.
I was the one who got in there and defended him, and it's bad if I'm defending Mark Stone. I was like, this isn't even a conversation. You have like a 90+% owned guy to like a waiver guy who's having a hot streak.
I mean, it was a conversation about like how low are you willing to go for a better playoff schedule type of thing.
Yeah. But
and Vegas doesn't have the best playoff schedule, but yeah, I still think Mark Stone is like an elite fantasy asset. Like I'll have him over most guys. But
no, but I think also like I think the Olympic break for so many guys it's really good. They get to rest up, they get to get healthy, whatever. I think it sucks for Snuggerud. I think a guy who's like on fire like that to just have to like sit out for 2 weeks, like he's not going to come back and be on that same streak. Like I'm not saying he's not going to be good rest of the season, but like that just it's hard to keep a streak going when you have a 2-week break in the middle of it.
Also, the lines will be changing, so you don't know how it's going to shake out.
I think the selling pieces, like Jakey said, like I don't think that necessarily, like the way I see it is the more you sell random guys, you sell, Buchnevich, Kyrou, whatever, that's just more ice time for these young guys, right? Like it's more, so like clear up all the, trash, like not trash, but like clear up all the other guys, give my boy Holloway, like Dvorsky, Snuggerud, give those guys like all the ice time, let them flourish and, get ready for next season because the season's a wash anyways. And I'm really interested to see. I think it's tough though because there's so many guys who could step up and be that guy, which is kind of crazy on such a like bad team. But like we said, Holloway, Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Neighbors, all 4 of those guys I think can have fantasy relevance. And like I think one of them, maybe 2, can be like actually really good rest of season. Yeah. But we don't know which one, and you're not going to pick up 4 of them, right? So
yeah. I do think Holloway is both the safest and best pick here. So he is the one that's ranked number 4. Sorry. On our waivers. Trying to undo what I did before. But anyway, so I'm definitely taking him like more confidently than I am taking Doan as opposed to the other Buffalo guys. Yeah. Because he's proved it last year, and even though he had like pretty bad start to this year before the injury, he was doing very well. So I think Holloway's the pick. And if you're in a deep enough league, like like a shot on the other guys like Dvorsky or Snuggerud, I like it. But Holloway to me stands out as the best one of those.
So of the other ones, how do you rank them? Let's say like Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Neighbors. How do you rank those guys?
Holloway, Snuggerud, Dvorsky, Neighbors.
I think
similar both for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Cracking into the top 3, we got number 3.
All right, at number 3, we have Pierre-Luc Dubois, PLD of the Washington Capitals. Line 2, power play 1. Again, like I feel like everything, like I've been following the lines really hard, but it's just really hard with all the Olympic guys not returned yet, and some injured guys are still getting eased back in. So it's hard to say for sure, but he was power play 1 before the break, and I think that'll be, a lot of his value will hinge on that. But he had one game healthy before the break, and he put up 2 points, a goal and an assist. He had shots, face-off wins from the winger position, a hit. He looked really good out there, and I think I've been seeing like over the Olympic break, he's been like just practicing nonstop, trying to get back into like game shape. I think this is one of those cases where the break was amazing for him because like the timing worked out really well for him. He got to have one game under his belt, and then just kind of like keep ramping up over the past 2 weeks to be just like ready to go. So I think this could be a really high like quality pickup for the rest of the season. Tough thing is like this week he has 3 games, the week after there's only 2 games. So I think it's the type of thing where you can pick him up for the rest of this week, and if he doesn't blow your socks off, you can drop him for the 2-game week. But the potential's there.
Yeah, he could be really good. I actually think this is the exact opposite of what you said with Snuggerud when, he was on a tear and now but like this is just great. Washington has only 2 players in the Olympics. Wilson, obviously super fantasy relevant, and then Faravari. So I think that for a veteran team like this that wants to make the playoffs and is definitely, poised to at least have a chance to do so, because the East super tight everywhere. I think that this is going to be really, really a strong finish for them the rest of the season. Sorry, I forgot Logan Thompson, but he's not playing many games. But
unfortunately,
yeah.
Kevin's
the number 1 Binnington hater.
I do feel a little bit bad because listen, I don't think he's gonna average like 3 points per game for the rest of the season, Pierre-Luc Dubois. But this is a guy that I've believed in the past, that I've kind of had like more optimism on than my co-host, let's say. And I was a little bit not hesitating, but like when he was coming back, he was available on our waivers, and I consciously did not pick him up because I was just like, I don't want to. I need the ads in our league record are so valuable, right? Like every matchup can be super influenced with one ad. So I was like, I don't have the luxury to just pick up a stash. Then he comes back and he gets 3 points. And I told people like they were like PLD or like some of these other names. I was just like, I feel like these other names are just better. Like what you're getting already, like PLDs. Then he comes back one game and he goes off. So I'm like, okay. But power play 1, you think he can get it over? I think it's him or Ryan Leonard pretty much. I think those are the two kind of slots up for grabs because he's not going to bump off, Chychrun, Tom Wilson, Ovechkin, or Dylan Strome, right? So it's one of those calls. If he gets power play 1, I think he could be really good rest of the season. If he ends up play line 2, power play 2, I feel like his upside is definitely capped, and his production will come more from the 5v5. And he's playing with Tom Wilson and the GOAT Protus, so. Watch out for my camera.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the camera gonna ring? Yeah, I think that.
So small correction. It was 2 points, and I hope that makes you feel a bit better because before that, any game that he's played that he was healthy this season, he played 6 other games and he did not get any points all season. So, I mean, it was definitely it's a risky pickup, like it is. I anticipate that they'll give him a chance at power play 1, and even without it, though, playing between Protus and Tom Wilson, I suppose
those are some tall wingers.
Do worse. Yeah, it's that line. That's hella height. Yeah. My gosh.
but I do think like they don't have the best power play either, so it's kind of like we're talking about Landeskog, it's the same thing. Like it's bottom 5 power play. It should be better. That's why you're kind of like more optimistic and you care about the power play deployment. But with the 2-game schedule, he's going to be a cut candidate for me. Like, pick him up right now to end the week 18 pretty strong. And then week 19, you evaluate your situation. But he's going to be one of the top guys to cut if you 2-game week and you can pick up someone with 4 games. It's like a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah, obviously that depends on how he does in these 3 games, though, right? Like if he can keep up some ridiculous pace, then you won't drop him. But yeah, in terms of him versus Leonard, it seems like he's got the edge over Leonard. Leonard really slowed down even before PLD came back, and then PLD slotted into power play 1 when he came back. I'd be more worried about an outside acquisition taking power play 1 because I know that Washington was another one of the names out there for Panarin, and they've said even before Panarin was like made available, they've been saying all season we want to acquire a top offensive guy.
They could get like a Kyrou or
something. 100%. And I think that would be whoever, if they trade for a top offensive guy, that guy's getting that last power play spot. So I'm more worried about that than Leonard taking a power play 1 from PLD.
Not worried about Ethan Frank or Justin Sourdif.
Don't sleep on Sourdif.
I'm only worried about Sourdif any week that I play against him if I play Jakey. Other than that, I feel like nah.
All right, let's
Okay.
move on to number 2.
That's his favorite. All right.
Oh, that sounded so good, guys.
It's been way too long. He's been like
It has.
every night. He's like, when do I get to say number 2 again? At number 2 again. I mean, this is one of those like names that we, kind of we did with Ryan O'Reilly for like 6-7 weeks.
Yeah.
Where
6, 7.
yeah, I know. I knew it as I said it. Where he just kept appearing because we were like, how is this guy not over 40% owned? So that's the plural of Matt. It's Matt Zuccarello on Minnesota Wild. Land 1 power play 1, 3-game week this week and next week. 6th power play in the league, by the way. And that's including, that's all season average. That's including pre-Q. BQ before Quinn. But yeah, like they're just nuts. The fact that someone on like a lock on power play 1 in Minnesota is this widely available who plays with Kaprizov at even strength is kind of a joke. I honestly don't understand it. Like it's not even like he's been off and on injuries. He was just injured for a while, but now he's back. So like, pick him up. It's a no-brainer.
He's 24% owned on Yahoo. Over the last month, he's been a point per game with close to 0.6 power play points. On the season, he's at 0.87 points per game and like 0.35 power play points, which for a top 5 power play is kind of realistic to maintain. And he's just hovering around 2 shots a game. He's basically what you wanted Jesper Bratt to be this season, just a little less. And you're picking him up for free in week 18.5 of the fantasy season.
It doesn't make
Meanwhile,
sense.
I'm holding Jesper Bratt. And
Yeah. Like sometimes like I feel like a lot of the time the owns percentage makes sense, on Yahoo. Like I think it could be a good indicator for a lot of stuff, but sometimes you have these glaring ones where just like it does not make sense. Zuccarello should be owned more, even though he's number 2 on the list this week. Like he's always, he should be owned a lot more. Pick him up if he's
Devon Taves is 39% owned.
Yeah, I literally just looked that up too.
No, honestly, like I think defensemen for some reason just as a whole have a much higher owned percentage. Maybe because like leagues hold more. I don't know. But defensemen
Logan
Stankoven
really is 20% owned. Zuccarello is 24%
Okay,
owned.
that's a perfect example.
Sense.
That makes no sense. I mean, keeper leagues maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Or maybe it's just like the teams that drafted and they went inactive and Stankoven was drafted and
and Zuccarello was injured at the start of the season, so whatever. All that to say, pick him up. There's not like I don't think we need to delve too hard into this. This is another one of those O'Reillys where we're just going to mention him every week until he's 40% owned.
Yep. And if you can, I would say the only thing I would add is if you can trade him, I'm absolutely trying to do so because, this week he's got 3 games, which is nice. Next week he's got 3 games, which is okay. And then, Minnesota and I think both formats, 21 to 23, 22 to 24, they have one of the worst playoff schedules.
Yeah.
So if you can add him as a piece to tier up, I'm still trying to do that. This might be the last episode you listen to before trade deadlines hit in your league. So caveat there, if you have Zuccarello, I'm really trying to package him in a 2-for-1 to get a better player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough to do that because you're just picking someone off waivers. You know what I mean?
So, but if you're in a deeper league, maybe you have the opportunity.
Yeah, but the numbers show that he should just be simply rostered more than he is. So
yeah. All right, let's go to
number 1.
All right, number 1, we have of the LA Kings, Alex Laferriere. Line 1, power play 2 asterisk because I'm not sure how it's going to shake out. 3 games this week, 3 games next week. Power play ranks 29th in the league, so you might think it's not that important. Why did we put him at number 1? I think there's just so much going on here. But first thing, the biggest thing, Artemi Panarin traded to LA. They finally released some preliminary lines. And it looks like Laferriere is playing center with Panarin and Kempe when he returns from Olympics. That's what they're going into the season. They're going back into the season doing. That's like, you cannot ask for better deployment than that. You throw that deployment on a guy who's already averaging like 3 shots and 3 hits a game. And they also mentioned that, Fiala's out for the season, right?
Yeah.
And they just acquired Panarin.
Sorry
and
for
the
Fiala
coach,
owners.
Yeah. And the coach said Panarin being here alters the whole dimension of the power play. So I think it's going to be, it's anyone's to take, right? You're going to have Panarin, you're going to have Kempe. I think that's the only 2 guys who are guaranteed a spot on that power play 1 unit. And I think the other 3 spots are up for grabs. Like, it should be Clark. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Doughty there because the coach is an idiot. So we'll see. But I mean, in terms of at least it'll be a defenseman, and then like you'll have those 2 forward spots. I don't think Kopitar's guaranteed that spot. I don't think Byfield's guaranteed it. I think Laferriere has as good a shot as any of those guys. So you add that even strength deployment with the potential for power play, with the hits and the shots, and it's like, this is a serious pickup you could be making.
In bangers leagues too, like the fact that if you can pick him up in a bangers league right now, it's actually insane. Like he's right below the 40% because that's 38% right now. So hopefully he's available in your league. If he is, he's triple eligible as well on Yahoo. So there's just so much to love here, guys.
Yeah.
When I saw that the potential lines there, I posted in the Discord right away. So if you're not there, another shout out. Get in the Discord. You're gonna see these lines ASAP. And the coach said, like, he went to Panarin and he was just like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And Panarin was just like, Panarin's a right-hand shot, plays on the left wing. So he wants a right winger that left-hand shot. He's like, okay, let's put him with Kempe. And then Laferriere is just the guy there. Can you imagine him just being like, all right, I'll play here? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play between Panarin and Kempe if you want. I will say in the past, though, we've seen the Laferriere center be the second-line center. But, like, any center playing with Panarin and Kempe, the two best players on the team, is going to be line one center. So
yeah, like when it's listed, like when they list the lines, they're listed as the second line, but line one is what Kopitar, Byfield, and like Kuzmenko or something, or some joke like that, or like more, like whatever.
The
That's
ghost
obviously
of
not
Kevin Fiala. Like.
Yeah, exactly. That's obviously not the line one. So yeah, no, I think this is a monster pickup.
And LA has a good strength of schedule.
What he wants. Like,
yeah.
Like that it's like he's getting that much pull already.
Panarin's literally the coach.
It's like Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams in The Notebook. It's like, what do you want? It's not that simple, but like he chose, and he chose he chose Laferriere, so that totally makes sense as to why he's number one on this list. And this can definitely be a league winning pickup.
Yeah,
he's like he hasn't really had many shots on power play 1 throughout the season either, even though he's had heightened deployment. If he gets power play 1 now and the power play becomes like, instead of 29th, maybe they're like 20th.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
Same wavelength.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still a huge bump in percentage of conversion. So
yeah, I think this, like, even without the power play 1, the shots hits combo and that line 1 deployment like just makes him so unreal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the hope of power play 1 as well just is an even bigger upside. Look, I will say that I don't think he's a lock on that line 1, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they replace him with Byfield or something and he goes to line 2. But I think when you have a guy who just shoots and hits like that, like, even if he doesn't get the deployment, you're still happy to have him on your team. So the floor is already so high and the ceiling is just ridiculous. So I think that's why it's a great pickup.
He's been 0.5 points per game on the season with like no power play points. Could I see him finish the season with like 0.7, averaging you like close to 3 shots, 3 hits, some face-off wins, and maybe like a 0.15 power play points? Like, that's an elite guy you're able to pick up
actually
in
like
week 18.5, you know?
Yeah, that's some filthy averages.
For sure. Okay, let's go to the top 5 bangers.
Bangers with a capital B.
Bangers.
Yeah, and a caveat, moving forward, we are doing bangers under 20% owned instead of under 40% owned. We got some feedback that all the bangers we were naming were just too widely owned in bangers leagues, and I think that's fair because just inherently, since there's fewer bangers leagues, the own percentage is going to be lower. So like the equivalent to 40% owned could be like 20%, and so we'll do this for a cup for maybe rest of the season, and if even that is still, you're like, oh, all these guys are still owned, then maybe we'll drop it to like under 10%, something like that, you know?
15
so
or 10,
yeah, so just keep giving us feedback because, as you can see, we do adapt to it, and I think it was a really good note. I was already kind of thinking it, but seeing someone kind of point it out was like, you know what, this is good. Let's implement this. So you won't be seeing some of the regular names. No more Radko Gudas. He's actually only like 21%, but still. All right, let's get into it.
All right, at number 5.
At number 5, we have a Jakey favorite, Bobby McMahon of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So he's a shots hits guy, a double-double, 3 games this week, 4 games the week after. But another fun note about him is his name is everywhere in trade rumors. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I think that Toronto really wants to get a first for him. I don't think they're going to, but I think they're going to get a similar return to Kiefer Sherwood, like 2 high seconds. And I don't know where he's going, but he can play. Like, he can play in the top 6 and on power play 1. You know, like it really depends what their team that acquires him, what they want, what they need. Yeah. But I think anywhere he goes, his deployment's gonna be better than on Toronto.
As a player, like on this list, as not for banger specifically, not for hits, like, yes, I understand why he's number 5, but overall, like, he's my favorite person to own that's on this list. He can sneak into the points section too, in my opinion. He's really good. He's playing with Matthews. I mean, you know, you can't ask for much. I feel like
that's a trade thing. Like, they're like trade show.
But
let's put him on line 1. But it's great for his value right now.
Yeah, like line 1 and 2 has been pretty consistent. So I think he's great, and we'll see where he goes. But it's tough to predict as the situation is right now. I definitely like this pickup
Yep. 3 games this week, 4 games the week after. So you're happy holding him closer to the trade deadline too. So
Yeah.
I think he has he's one of those guys that he's getting you the peripherals that you want from a banger pickup. He has the points upside and he has the trade potential as well, which a lot of the boxes you're ticking with this player. I just wanted to add before we get to the next one that this is the banger management lore. I still remember last year when Jake and Josh were conversing about a trade. They were wheeling and dealing. It was trade deadline. I think that's the same day that Josh and I made the trade for Svechnikov and Tavares. And Jakey went on this rant for an hour of Bobby McMahon being the
best
GOAT.
player in the NHL. Yeah, exactly. And I was Bobby McMahon is not going to sway whether he's not a piece in a trade. I'm not interested in trading for him.
Listen,
and then I'm I told
double.
Jakey, I'm in the next week you're going to drop him. He's like, no way. 4 days later he dropped him.
Last year McMahon was 2.28 shots and 1.84 hits. This year he's 2.07 shots, 2.25 hits. You could do worse than this is a rosterable player.
I think he's a fantastic pickup. I don't think he has any trade
How
value.
much more are you expecting out of Holloway than McMahon, as an example? You know?
A lot more.
Really?
I expect him to shoot more. I expect him to hit more, and I expect him to get a lot more points. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think it's a double-double with 0.6 points is pretty reasonable for both of them.
I mean, yeah, I could see that could be that's Holloway's floor and McMahon's ceiling. I feel like.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Let's move on to the next one. I don't care. Right. I don't have McMahon.
Yeah, either. Yeah.
Not yet.
He's gonna trade for McMahon.
The New Zetterland.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. At number 4.
At number 4, we have Yakov Trenin of the Minnesota Wild. He's been on and off this list all year. I mean, 4.81 hits per game on the season. 3 games this week, 3 games the week after. Not much to say. This is a pure hits play. And I mean, he's been elite at it for long enough that you could just bank on them.
Yep. Not the best schedule, but if you want a lot of hits, this is your guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 3.
At number 3, we got Mendoza.
We're so looking forward to saying that.
We have literally my best friend in the entire world, Jack McBain of the Utah, averaging 1.4 shots, 3.4 hits, 0.65 blocks. He's getting face-off wins from the winger position. More importantly, do you know what line he's playing on at practice?
Line 1.
Not the number. Do you know who his line mates have been?
Oh, I mean, he's been playing with Dylan Guenther before, unless that changed.
Yeah, you know what line it is now? It's Jack McBain, Dylan Guenther, and Logan Cooley.
Ooh. Wow.
And I mean, yeah, that hurts the face-off wins, but literally, I was looking into their lines and what they've been doing at practice, and the reporter essentially said 3 of the 4 lines have been constantly shifting and they've been messing around with them. The only line that's been sticking together for all the practices is McBain, Cooley, and Guenther.
I wouldn't even be surprised if McBain is the one taking the face-offs and stuff.
Yeah, honestly,
and they want to leverage Cooley's offensive capabilities and give McBain the defensive responsibilities on the line. I would not be shocked.
Can you imagine how hype this is as a McBain owner? It's pretty sick. You have him for the bangs, and then he's just also playing on a ridiculous line with ridiculous line mates.
He's like a mini Laferriere.
Yeah, honestly,
Similar.
it's kind of crazy. And look, I had only picked him up. I picked him up months ago. This guy's been on my roster for months, and he's just been constantly delivering for those Batcats. But he also randomly gets games with 3 points. Ever since, especially being combined with Guenther, and especially when I play against Kevin. It's just
I love that.
Yeah, but he's been shooting too. He had a game where he had 7 shots. Again, this was against Kevin. And yeah, I think he just has really high floor and high potential if he's playing with Cooley and Guenther. It's really fun. Yeah. Really fun own.
And this would be, if that sticks, it would be great news for Nick Schmaltz too, who we've talked about maybe losing deployment because Logan Cooley's coming back. If they're keeping that Keller Schmaltz intact, and then Logan Cooley, McBain, and Guenther stays as a line, and then you got Peterka and Hayton somewhere else, that's Utah's a fun team.
Yeah, but what's actually a fun fact? When I was just fact checking that Colorado has the worst power play in the league. Who has the second worst power play in the league?
Is it Utah?
It's Utah. Isn't that nuts?
That's crazy.
They
should trade for an actual power play quarterback.
They should just put Sean Dursey on there.
Yeah, seriously.
No, but that's crazy to me. I thought they were doing so much better than they were. I mean, I think this Logan Cooley return, assuming he even slots into power play 1 over Jack McBain, but yeah, I think that could be a big boost for them. But yeah, I was really surprised to see that. So it's something to keep in mind. But that doesn't matter to McBain. He's not a power play 1 guy. He is just an absolute stud at everything else.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the best number in the league, number 2.
All right, at number 2, we've got Jacob Melanson of the Seattle Kraken. This guy's averaging Yeah, that one. 3 games this week, 3 games next week. He's averaging 5.3 hits per game on the season, but that's not. That's like if you look at his game log, the last like 6 games before the Olympic break, he was averaging like 8 hits a game. Like this is the most insane.
He's Jakob
like,
Trenin, but like Seattle version.
But also
even
hits
more,
like twice as much. Yeah, like it's actually like insane what this guy's been doing. Like, look, he does literally nothing else. So that's why I didn't pick him up, because like he just
hits
does not.
per minute.
It's insane. He had a game where he played like 6 minutes or 4 minutes because he got penalties also, and he got like 10 hits. It's like, how is that possible?
What else are you doing?
It's honestly insane. But yes, if you need hits, you need pure hits who will not contribute anything else to your team, pick this guy up. I know there's a lot of points leagues with weird point systems, right? Where hits can be worth almost as much as, actual points are.
Yep.
Like if hits are worth a lot in your league, then grab him. If your team is like, my team's perfect in every way, but I just suck at hits, he could turn the hits category for you alone. So those are the situations where I like him, or just week by week, if you need to flip the hits category in any single given week, he's a great stream. So, but yes, his hits have been absolutely absurd, and we have to mention him.
I will say, I'm not banking on the shots, but his shots per minute are not bad either. Like, he had a game, 8 minutes played, 12 penalty minutes, 3 shots, 2 hits.
Yeah, that was his worst hits game of like the season because he got 12 penalties. He's too busy shooting and sitting in the penalty box. Yeah,
he had a game with 9 minutes 56 seconds played, 12 hits.
Yeah, it's insane.
Do you do that?
It's more than a hit a minute. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's a few of those like in his game log. So yeah, he's a monster with the hits.
He was a name that kind of popped up in the Discord pretty often. People are like, what do you think about this guy? Like, this guy is like tanking everybody. And it's hard when these one-dimensional guys, because like, yeah, hits are good, but like if that's the only thing you're getting, it might be overkill. So that's why I think that lowers his value a little bit. But also, like, if you're in a points league, like there's some leagues out there that like, 2 hits equals an assist. Like this guy's getting 12 hits. That's like 3 to 6 assists a game for some leagues out there. Like that's, can you imagine that being a scoring metric? Like that's just nuts.
It's nuts. Yeah. No, I love it. All right, let's go to number. I almost said it. I did it.
All right, at number 1.
Phew, I almost pulled a Jakey there, but now I can still make fun of him. At number 1, we have a guy who barely made the cut. He's 20%. I'm counting it smaller or equal then. But we've got Jeremy Lauzon of the Vegas Golden Knights. He's just been a bangers beast. 3 games this week, 4 games the week after. So great schedule. Averaging 3.7 hits, 1.7 blocks, 1 shot, penalty minutes. He just does everything you want from a bangers defenseman. And look, 20% owned. He's owned in probably most bangers leagues, but that's 80% of leagues he's not owned in. So there's a chance that he's available in yours, and he's a great pickup.
He's got to be number 1 when he's available. So
yeah,
not much to say with Lauzon. I feel like he's been here forever. Everybody knows the name at this point.
Yeah, 1 more percent and he'll be off the show.
Yeah. Somebody do it for us, please.
Exactly.
I like
more
this,
names for you.
At the 20%. Like it's a bunch of
It's
different names we're talking about. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better. But we'll see if we just end up talking about the same like near 20% guys.
Yeah.
But, we'll see what happens. All right. So for the goalie section, since it's only a half week and there's no teams that play more than 3 games, there actually are no goalies under 40% owned that I can guarantee you will get multiple starts. So we're going to skip the quantity section and go straight to the quality section for this half week.
Spot starts, baby.
Yeah. So let's go to
number 3.
And I will say with the spot starts also, like even these were hard. There's not that many options out there. There's not that many back-to-backs where you can guarantee one. So some of these, like this number 3 guy, one of the 2 starts is a fantastic one and one of them is more of a difficult one, and we're kind of hoping he gets the easy one. So at number 3, we've got Arturs Shilovs, the Latvian GOAT. Fun fact about Latvia, I don't know if you guys noticed this watching the Olympics. I feel like every name, like all their first names and last names end with an S.
Josh mentioned this, and it was like a plate break moment for me. Like window crash. Like I was like, "There's no way!" And I kind of look at their players. I was just like Elvis Merzlikins, like
Uvis Balinskis.
Uvis Balinskis.
Like there's I can name you the entire roster. I'm actually curious if there's a single player on that roster whose first name and last name don't both end with an S. It must be a Latvian thing, but yeah, it was kind of crazy for me. Like watching the games, and I'm like, holy wow, that's crazy.
Zemgus Girgensons.
Yeah,
Teddy Bluger is not the. Yeah, there. It's already cooked.
Yeah, Teddy Bluger.
Okay. I didn't realize he was on the team.
Literally, almost all of them are.
I mean, yeah, there's only there's a few.
Batna.
Other than Teddy Bluger, there's no one whose name ends with like who doesn't end with an S, either their first or last.
Yeah, and most it's both.
But
yeah,
for a few of them, Edwards,
yeah.
Tarlmax. That's tough.
You sure it's not Blue Teddy's Burgers?
He changed his name.
Yeah. So anyways, fun fact. But yeah, so Artur Shilovs, he's playing either the Rangers or Vegas. We all know which one we'd rather him play. Rangers minus Panarin is just even more of a joke than they've been all season. So yeah, we're definitely hoping for the Rangers with this pickup. And Pittsburgh's been solid. I mean, obviously, like minus Crosby is a big loss if he's not playing.
Mhm.
But like I said, it's pretty slim pickings for this week on spot starts that you can guarantee. So that's my number 3 one.
I have Skinner. I think that they can win both these games with Crosby. Obviously, the Rangers are more desirable because they're not going to be nearly as offensively, as Vegas. But yeah, I don't know. I think that with Crosby, like I'm happy regardless of which game he has, obviously. But
yeah, but obviously you'd much rather than the Rangers.
For sure.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah.
Number 2. Let's go.
At number 2, we've got Philip Grubauer of the Seattle Kraken. This is another one where like one of the games is Dallas, but the other game is St. Louis. So it's like we obviously know which one we'd prefer he gets. And he's been playing really well. I mean, he's definitely slowed down and Decorta's been picking it up. So I think it's moving more towards that, starter and backup than the kind of split that we saw like midway through the season. But for a spot start, he's going to get one of them. And again, obviously, we'd rather St. Louis. We can't guarantee it, but the pickings were slim. And Seattle's a playoff team, and Dallas also was pretty bad going into the Olympics, right? Like they weren't super scary. So I think either of these games, Seattle could win, and Grubauer can have a good game in either.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's been just giving us quality for a while at this point, so you're not really super intimidated to play him. I know Jordary has one rule in the Discord. It's just like never play your goalies against Dallas, which I feel like for a month has not been the worst.
Oh yeah,
like they haven't been the best, right? So like
even Colorado wasn't like that rule was like don't play your goalies against like Colorado, Dallas, and Edmonton.
Yeah.
And like I feel like both Colorado and Dallas have not been that scary lately.
I don't have those rules. I play with no rules, but. But I don't blame anybody. It's always like one of those things that like, I should like it happens. You actually play them and then you get screwed.
Correct.
And then
and
you're like, oh man, I should have followed my rule. But then sometimes you miss out on good performances.
I mean, my rule is I don't bench goalies. The only time I bench goalies is if I'm like guaranteed to win the categories and like there's no upside in me playing them. But otherwise, like I'm like, why am I rostering this guy if I'm not going to play him?
Early week, I'm always playing goalies, and then later, just Saturday, Sunday, it's matchup dependent with the categories on the line and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm always pulling out my calculator and be like, all right, what type of game does my goalie need to have for me to like lose save percentage or lose
a 35 save shutout?
Yeah,
that's like not in the range of outcomes.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm always doing that kind of math late in the week, but early week, I'm always playing my guys. All right, and let's go to
number 1.
At number 1, we have Connor Ingram of the Edmonton Oilers. Here finally is one where I'm happy with both matchups, Anaheim and LA. Although LA with Panarin, maybe it's scarier, but they lost Fiala. So, but I honestly, both those matchups are one I'm pretty confident in for Edmonton. Ingram hasn't been great leading into the Olympics, but Skinner's, Jarry, has been even worse. So like looking at like Jarry's game log, like they're splitting starts. So, if there was a goalie who might get you more than one start, maybe it would be Ingram in addition to the spot start. But yeah, I like him as the top pickup here just because both of the matchups are good as opposed to only one of them.
Do you think he has the potential to run away with the job?
I think
he's been bad also.
Yeah, like I think they're probably going to do a tandem for like in all likelihood. But, so I would anticipate he only gets one game this week because Jarry still did get They want him to be the guy, and it's definitely not like Ingram's
not that
away
guy
with it.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Jarry's owned percentage in Yahoo is like 46%.
Yep.
Isn't that nuts?
If only people listen to Banger Management.
I mean, that to me, like he was almost eligible to be on this show. That's crazy. Yeah. That's the starter for the Edmonton Oilers. Like
quote unquote starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but like, all things considered, he is the starter. Ingram, like, it's not like Ingram's been playing well. I think that Ingram has the potential to run away with it. I think it's just going to be whichever one can play well. Mm-hmm. And right now the answer is neither, so they're splitting it. But if either of them is like, they're like, please, one of you take the job, and they're both like, I think I'm good. Like I don't get paid more if I play more.
Stu?
So yeah, exactly.
Did you guys see the rumors that people were saying like Binnington wins goal with Canada? And then,
it goes to
Edmonton is like they need a goalie, man.
I'm more liking the rumors
yeah,
that the
wonder.
Celebrini McDavid connection is too strong, and one is going to trade for
Yeah.
either
Imagine.
McDavid to San Jose or Celebrini to Edmonton.
That I think
Draisaitl
that
for Celebrini.
It would be impossible, right? Like,
Yeah.
well, I wonder if
I don't even want to entertain the Celebrini McDavid conversation, but
No,
what about
it was just for
Binnington?
fun.
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
I think St. Louis would love to get Bennington off their team, and I think
Yes.
Edmonton is
Yeah.
just the dumb enough GM to do it. So that's kind of if they can make
no,
the
but
money work.
That would be a big upgrade. Like, all kidding aside, like
Yeah.
Binnington's not like the best goalie in the league, but he's definitely better than
He's better than Jarry
or Ingram for sure.
Or Pickard. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's
just like it's just stupid. Like it just GM of Edmonton is so dumb. Like
Yes.
you're giving up assets on all these trades for like the slightest of upgrades. Like if you're gonna give up assets in one
Get a
trade
big swing.
to get a big swing. Yeah, to actually get get a Wallstead or something like that. Like why are you like, first of all, the Jarry one was just a straight up what's the opposite of an improvement? Deprovement? I don't know. My brain is, whatever. It was just a downgrade. Disimprovement, exactly. Added to the list. Yeah, so that was just a straight downgrade, disimprovement. So, I don't know what they're doing. But look, I don't think it's going to happen. But I think, like I said, I think St. Louis would love to make that happen. And I think Edmonton is dumb enough to do it. So we'll see.
We'll see. That would be interesting.
They'd
and
have to
at that
send
point,
probably Jarry back or something, though, like to make the money work. Like you can't be paying Jarry to like not play.
Nuge or I know they paid Yama.
No, I think they'd give like a Savoie, like some of the younger guys.
Mangiapane they throw in there, and
But like
they've
Bennington
been trying to
has,
get rid of him.
I'm thinking mostly
Also-
like less on the assets and more on like the cap side of it.
Yeah.
Like Edmonton doesn't have the cap to take on Bennington without giving some cap back.
Let's give Darnell Nurse. I think all Edmonton fans will be happy.
I'm sure everyone would love that.
Yeah, we'll see. But for now, Ingram best on this list that we mentioned, and I think he'll win whichever one of the games he gets. But I anticipate it's only going to be one. Do you think we wrap it up here?
Yeah,
Cool.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, we should probably.
Thank you to everybody for listening to week 18.5 waivers, aka week 18 part 2, because of this huge Olympic week, basically. And follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. If you enjoyed, give our channel a 5-star rating. No,
Josh, put the hood on, guys.
He's back. Emperor Palpatine. For all you Star Wars
Josh.
fans out there. Give this video a like on YouTube as well, and subscribe to our channel. And all the socials are in the podcast description. Be sure to join the aforementioned 1,000 times Discord. We keep talking during the episodes about how we're, like we did with LA, saying, hey, here's what this is looking like and why you should pick up Laferriere before anyone else. But we say it on the episode, and we're not recording every second of every day. So, when news comes out that's really important, we drop it there.
We should just have a constant live stream, even when we're sleeping. Just like, wake up in the middle of the night.
Honestly, I feel like sometimes, like in the middle of the night, I'll be like, "Oh my god, I have to pick this guy up." It just hit me in a dream.
We were dreaming about hockey players. So
Always.
That's it. All right, Ernie, take it away.
Bow, banger management fantasy hockey podcast. Woo!
Okay.
Woo!